and this is the last of the 2016 videos. This one is of a trip up on the Manitou Cog up to Pikes Peak and back down. And I was hopeful that I was going to see something on this trip back then, and the camera I'm using is not the greatest camera in the world. This is my little Pentax WG1. They still make the camera, but they have like GPS coordinates now and everything, which is kind of useful if you're into Bigfoot hunting or investigating that stuff. You can remember where you went. I actually know from photographs of trees and the terrain around it where I'm at, through all the different photographs that I've taken. But this is I was going up to take the trip up to Pikes Peak on the Cog, and on the way up, I snapped a bunch of pictures, and one of the pictures I took was of NORAD, and I never really noticed this building before up on this mountain because it looks like a bunch of rocks, and they are I think this is like a lookout point on top of the mountain, and it's really kind of intriguing. So this thing right here is a building, and it's right next to a big boulder. So when I started to zoom in on this thing, I was like, that's a stinking building, and I realized that these are windows cut into the building that's part of this boulder, and it looks like it's part of the overall experience, because I don't think I know people can hike up on the side of Pikes Peak, but you're not supposed to get up to those towers that are up there. I'm going to show the towers here in a second. Like these things, you're not really supposed to get up to the towers. So like, that's what the towers look like from the ground up. Yeah, it was really kind of strange just kind of seeing all that. The main gate is like back in this area. That's one of the crazy towers they got right outside. I think it's either this is the entrance or this is the entrance, but the entrance is kind of hidden away. I will be cutting out a lot of photographs because there is a lot of blurry ones in here because we were moving at the time. But I'll pick out certain things that I photographed that were kind of strange and unusual. I thought this was a person standing up on the rock when I looked at it when I was photographing it, and then when I zoomed in on it, it's just a shadow that looks like a head smashed into the rocks, or maybe it's someone hiding. I don't know. It just looks really bizarre. This is a road that goes up to a little town that is, I think it has a population of 0 now. There was one person in this little town. I don't even know what this town was called anymore, but it was somewhere in between Manitou and Pikes Peak, and they helped do the water, like all this water that's flowing down. Actually some of this comes from a pipe that is blowing out water, even though this looks like a natural event happening in front of the train. What is this? I don't know. This one has that guy in it. Oh yeah. So I was looking around at things, and I always zoom into my pictures just to kind of see if there's something there. And this is one of those weird events. So here's this, looks like a hood. Looks like there might be a face in here. And there are people hiking around out there, but I don't know what this is. Kind of looks like there's something reflecting off of this, so it could be maybe an old car or something stuffed in the woods. There might be a road back there that we can't see. But I thought this thing was kind of creepy when I was looking around at stuff, because it does look like a little face hidden in it. Kind of strange looking. Let's zoom in even closer to so you can get a good look at it. It's really freaky looking because it does look like a hood. I don't know what kind of face this really is, if that's human or not. It just looks weird. Zoom out. You don't get to see things if you don't zoom in. It's fun to look at photographs because you never get it. You'll never know if there's something up there or not that you may have accidentally photographed. This, I think, is an X, but it may not be a true X. But there is rubbing going on this tree. This tree right here, there's a little bit, you can see a little bit of rubbing going on right here. Not from this tree, but from this tree rubbing up on that one. Now it could just be that it's just randomly rubbing. There's rubbing up here also. Could be from an animal too, but usually animals will go after a thicker, sturdier tree to rub their antlers on. This is one of the buildings in that little town. It says Colorado Springs Municipal Plant Number 3. This is one of their water plants up there. I do believe they've got 3 of these, and they do have a resident bear that kind of roams around. So the people that were living up there started to wean out, and I think it's because of the random bears that were coming down and visiting. There was a caretaker, and I think 2016 was his last year caretaking up there. So now it's run by Colorado Springs Water. That's the tracks leading up to the top of Pikes Peak. Plenty of places for Sasquatch to explore or live. And way off in the distance, way off out here, are the windmills. And what's really weird about this, I never noticed this before, is that when I was photographing this, I caught an unidentified flying object right here. It's not a plane, it doesn't look like a helicopter. But whatever this is more on the upright side. I don't see wings. I don't see really anything of what this thing could be. It's really strange. But those are all the windmills way out there. This is parts of Colorado Springs. More of Colorado Springs. One of the lakes up above that area. There's a handful of lakes up there. Oh, let's go back to one. So I saw this tree break, and at first I was suspect about it until I zoomed in onto this area here, When I zoomed in, I noticed that this is a campfire. Someone set up like a little area here that they could sit back and relax. There are stopping points where you can wait for the trains to come up and go down. Like if you're hiking down off Pikes Peak and you just want to take the train the rest of the way down, or if you're hiking up to the top of Pikes Peak and you decide that you want to take the train because you just can't make it, there are stopping points. But this just looks like somebody made a makeshift campsite or a place to stay warm until the train came along. There's a road that leads out to the lakes. I'm not sure what road that is. There's even, looks like little side roads to take it back. It'd be fun to explore this. I thought there was something here. It looked interesting. Lots of places for Bigfoot to go. Now, this picture has something funny in it. I wonder if you can see it. Oh, you can't see it. I'm gonna have to tilt this thing up. I thought these were two kids playing around out here when I first looked at this photograph. And I thought, good God, if these are kids, these are the weirdest looking kids ever. This one doesn't look so weird, but this one looks really strange. Like, really strange, like an oversized head, a little skinny neck. Almost looks like a stick person running around. It's really strange looking. Now that's pareidolia, because I don't know what that is. I don't think it's a child. I mean, there was nobody out there when I photographed this. It just looked funny that there was something out there. Could just be a couple of sticks pounded into the ground and they're just weathered. Just looks weird. This looks like Stonehenge on top of the mountain. That's one of the cogs going up. One of the lakes down there. I thought this was something down here, but I looked at it earlier and it's nothing. You can see the lakes. This is a different lake that's up there. The other lake was over here to my left. There's another little tiny lake down here. There's other lakes to my right too. This is a mine of some sort. I don't know what kind of mine that is. I think that's another mine. Lots of places to hide if you're a Sasquatch. Many little lakes down there. Lots of swampy area too. Also looks like Stonehenge. That's pretty cool. coming back down off the mountain now. You can spend, I guess, like an hour or two up there, you know, but you have to get back on a cog and take it down. Or you can hike it. Or we're going back down off the mountain now. This is also promising because these trees were ripped out of their place. And I thought that was interesting. I didn't see that going up, but I saw it coming back down. I think there's a restaurant back there as well, yeah, but you have to hike to it. Actually, I wonder if that was something back there. No, I don't think so. I thought there was something going on back in here too. And I looked at it, I couldn't really see anything. There's a lot of tree bending, but I don't really know if that's what that is going on, because these aspens are blocking the way, a view of what I should be able to see. So I don't really know if there's anything truly there or not. There's a seating area waiting for the next cog to come in. I think we can zoom that out a little bit. There you go. Seating areas to take a break if you wanted to wait for the train. There's a lot of stuff back here. It kind of looks like a flattened X. Lots of big logs that are dropped back in here. Some other logs that are dropped over here too. Those seats were very uncomfortable to sit in. Going up, coming down, they weren't so bad, but going up, boy, they were horrible. That's a downed tree back there. That tree fell over. It's kind of neat to look at because this is your root ball, and that's the main root coming off the bottom of the tree. It's not very long, so the tree didn't have a shot in hell to surviving. It's probably outcompeted by all the other trees in the area. There's a tree break back there. That's a... Why is it not responding? Oh, my computer just froze. That's nice. So that's a tree break. There's probably more back in here, because usually when you find one, you find others. figures. Wait, is that something back there? That's almost suspect. That log bumps up to that log bumps up to that log. Just a little bit left on top. That's kind of interesting. Is there a structure over there? Oh, looks like there's possibly some leaners in here onto this tree. Well, now that's interesting too. I think that's a water line that's coming down that leads to that town. This is odd because there's a log sitting up in the tree. Branches are supporting this thing. And then you got a tree that's bent over, another tree that's bent up, and they're tied together at some point up here at the tip. That's intriguing. This is the water. I think the pipe that supplies a lot of water to Manitou is right here. Another old mine is right here. Thought that was a cave. It's just an overhang of a boulder. Boy, that sucker comes down. That's going to bring down some trees. This thing had footprints in it. There was a handful of different types of footprints I was looking at. Like, this is a pretty big, that's a hefty size footprint. So if you go back the distance, there's another one right here. That's about right. There's another one up here. It looks like there's a foot impression there. It's kind of weird. I mean, it just, that doesn't look like a normal shoe. Because I think my foot comes about here. Or this thing is going all the way out here. It's going all the way up to this spot. This looks like toes going all the way across. That's kind of crazy, actually. That's big time crazy. But old roads like this, if no one's traveling on it, they're not hiking on it, that might be a great place to look for footprints. You can't really see there. Oh yeah, I can kind of see it. Yeah, that's a definite footprint. I couldn't get off the train to actually get it. Say, hold on, I gotta look at that footprint. That is intriguing. It's very intriguing because it is the whole foot is bending over this lump in the ground. That's pretty neat. That's a good find. There's a trail here going up. A little bit of video action there off my phone. This is like going up and down the cog. It's not very, we're not going very quick. This is a break because the tree is snapped right there. Looks like it may have been driven into the ground, just like that was driven into the ground. This looks like it may have been an old trail of some sort, maybe a game trail. There's an X. Oh, is that the same X? Oh no, that's a different X. That's pretty intriguing. This is a tree break, and this is an X. That's pretty neat. And that's the end of it. Well, so again, I don't know if I'll have a video out on Sunday because I'll be up in the Cripple Creek area, and I'm gonna go adventure at a couple parks up there because apparently that's one of the bigger areas to look for Sasquatch because they have the most amount of sightings up there in that area. So again, my name is Patrick. This is Sasquatch in the Wild, and I hope you enjoyed this little journey up to Pikes Peak and down from the I hope you enjoyed the journey from this little train ride from Manitou up to Pikes Peak and back down on the Manitou Cog. Again, my name is Patrick. This is Sasquatch in the Wild. Hope you enjoyed the journey, and I will talk to you. If I don't have a video out on Sunday, I might have something out on Monday or Tuesday, and if not, hopefully on Wednesday. So I might miss Sunday, unless I can throw out a quick little short, which I might be able to do, but we'll see. Again, my name is Patrick, and this is Sasquatch in the Wild.